that these symbols meant something good in the past, and all these bad guys use it for something bad, and so he wants to rectify, he wants to bring life back to him. So now he's using these Luciferian and Masonic symbols for that purpose. That was his explanation.
And it's so typical. It's so typical.
I think there's no need for symbols. I mean, I think there's,
but let's say you do.
A logo, you can do a design. Even on his art, because he has art on his webpage, it's very Masonic. I mean, you'll catch the Eye of Providence, you'll catch pyramids, you'll catch everything.
Hey guys, Cullen Smith here. Welcome back to Lifting the Veil.
All right, so let's crack it on open here, boy. I'm going in. So this is just another piece that I'm literally adding on to what we covered in Symbols of Power Part 2 and Part 3 regarding As Above, So Below the Belt, where I covered how the thalamus is literally exactly homologously correspondent with, again, the penis head or the pineal glands, as well as the pineal gland directly homologously corresponded to the pineal glands. And so this is just another depiction of that. And this is probably going to get my at least my video completely demonetized, or probably violating community guidelines or something, because YouTube algorithms probably can't tell the difference between the pineal gland and a dude spreading his ass. But no, this isn't actually a dude spreading his ass. It's actually it's the diencephalon, and that what we're looking at is literally the pineal gland. And I posted this on Facebook. I was like, pop quiz, who can guess what I'm showing you here? And everybody was guessing like just far from the truth. And so I just kept going, nope, try again, nope. Nobody ever even got close. And I was like, and I even hinted, I was like, it's everything we covered in As Above, So Below the Belt in Part 2, and just going so much deeper, and nobody could understand. So I was like, all right, well, yeah, I mean, but so it's homologously, it's exactly fractal. It's the dude spreading his ass.
I don't even know if I will go through the symbolism to show. No! But so this is the very symbolism of conscious illumination, of enlightenment, of the journey of esoteric knowledge and embodiment of God consciousness, or whatever you want to call it, infinite universal awareness, universal intelligence embodied in the human form. And that's literally the entire epitome of Freemasonry, of esoterica, of Rosicrucianism, of the Rosicrucian, and all of these things is the very essence of the esoteric human anatomy, the human physiology, which itself is a microcosmic representation of what the entire universe represents and is doing as a whole. Each one of us is a small fractal representation of what the entire universe itself is actually doing. It's the same physics all the way down. No matter what scale you are focusing on, in universal awareness, whether you're focusing on galactic scale, on the universal scale, or on the microscopic scale, it's the same set of physics, same laws of universal physics that applies at all scales and at all orders of magnitude, all the way down and all the way up, infinitely. It is infinite fractality, and that's what the human body represents.
It's very Masonic. I mean, you'll catch the Eye of Providence, you'll catch pyramids, you'll catch everything. You'll see it.
And that's why, you know, I've got my own symbolism. If you guys really like the symbolism artwork, graphic artwork that I've composed, why the Freemasonic square and the compass, I've shown this from so many different aspects. I've shown the entire meaning of what the square and compass actually is. Number one, so you get the compass itself, which draws feminine curves. You get the square or the rule. So it's rather than a compass, it's actually, in Freemasonry, it's called a divider. It's a divide. So it's the symbolism of the divide and rule. In other words, divide and conquer. But it's not just that. It's so much more universal and so much. It's not just, you know, dark or evil or any of that stuff. It's not dark or evil at all. It's just a universal concept. It's like any tool. It can be used however you want to use it for whatever purpose. But it literally comes from the physics of nature, human anatomy, esoteric anatomy, and the physiology itself. As the square or the compass is actually depicted at a very esoteric angle of 47 degrees. 47 degrees is an extremely esoteric number. You'll find it everywhere. But so it's 47 plus the 90-degree square, or the 90-degree rule, which equates to the sacred number of 137, which is the golden number, the golden angle of phyllotaxis, which is the Fibonacci spiral, the angle at which plants spiral and they grow stalks at a 137-degree angle from each other, which is literally known as the golden angle. And it's the angle of phyllotaxis that all plants grow in, because it's the divine number of complete division, to where each of these branches will equally attain the maximum amount of sunlight, so they can each attain the maximum amount of growth and expansion without interfering with each other. So this number 137, and so that's combined what the actual meaning of the square and compass, just one of the layers of the square and compass, what it actually means. We covered so much more in depth in Symbols of Power Part 2 and Part 3. There's so much more in-depth meaning of the square and compass, which is literally the urogenital and the anal triangle combined. So in other words, it's literally the human sexual anatomy. It's literally the pelvis. It's literally the perineal region of the human body, which is the sacral region. It is the sacred sacrum. It is the origin of sexual creation. So again, it is the divine masculine and the divine feminine combining. How am I doing this here? Combining. So I can't. How does it go? Like this. Combining together and merging together in the sexual perineal union, which creates the universal sexagram. And I've got whole other original pieces that I haven't published anywhere yet that will also be in the book. Complete original discoveries. This is where the two pelvises, where the two, where both of you, where your two pelvis regions are joined together, and so therefore each of your urogenital triangles come together, and they depending on what angle or what position you're having, and it literally creates a sexagram, or also known as a hexagram, but I call it the sexagram because hex is literally sex. Hex is Greek for sex is Latin for, which is Greek hex, which means six, which is why sex literally means six. Sex. Hex is the sex is the hex, which is the square, which is the cube of creation, the cube of space. And so, I mean, we could go on and on and on with all this stuff, but so that's what, another aspect of what the square and the compass represents. But in this artwork that I've depicted, if you guys like this artwork, it's available. You can check it out in the Lifting the Veil merch store. It's a really cool graphic that I put together, but it's literally the human body sitting in full lotus position. That's what the square and the compass is. It's with the sacred G, which is literally the G spot. It is the spark of creation, which the G literally comes from the spiral, the sacred phi ratio spiral of creation, which creates all physical forms that we observe in this universe, especially in the plants, which is manifested by the pine cone, or in other words, the pine cone topped on top of the fennel staff, or the thyrsus, which is literally the angle of phyllotaxis. So, oh my God, it's a Freemasonic conspiracy. Oops, I didn't realize that there's a thyrsus here on the wall in the wine artwork behind me. Oh my God, I must be a shill. Oh my, that's literally what, so that's what it all means. That's what it all comes from. And I'm sorry I didn't want to make this too long. I wanted to make this a short video, but you know, like as always, you cannot scathe the surface of this stuff. And as always, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch my videos. If you enjoy this information, please share it around with anyone who you think might also appreciate the information.
It's my greatest passion, and my purpose and my mission is to continue to produce genuinely inspired and meaningful, uplifting content, intellectual pieces of art.
We haven't even begun to scratch the surface of just how much info is ready and waiting to be produced. I can't even keep up with the amount of output, let alone the amount of writing that is coming through. We haven't even gotten started yet. We are just warming up.
And so we just need to take care of this business, guys. If I can meet my second minimum goal, I will never have to ask or beg for funding ever again. So I want to get to that point where I never have to ask you ever again, because I hate doing it, honestly. I really do. So I hope I never have to ask again by reaching these minimum goals. Because as it stands right now, I am not able to do this full time. I simply am not making enough to pay off the amount of effort that goes into these. So I can't practically do it right now. So we have to meet these minimum goals. Otherwise, I can't do this. Please help me continue in this mission.
And check out the merch in the links below. Help support my channel that way, or support my channel on patreon.com/liftingtheveil. Links in the description below. And I will see you guys in the next video. There is so much more content coming up. First in the lineup is this 6-hour film that I'm going to divide up about the New World Order agenda and the truth about veganism. It will be a part 2 of my other viral film that went out, so the truth about veganism. So stay tuned for that next. It's almost finished. I'm just polishing up. I want to make sure I cover all the details, so it's very in-depth, and that way there's no confusion to leave you hanging. So look for that next.